and welcome to Tier 1 of F1WL. It is currently round 4 now, and we are joining Austria after a very enjoyable Tier 4 race, which me and my good friend Sir with Face commentated. We do not have the best attendance today. I believe we only got 15 drivers in, but we were only supposed to be expecting 18, so I believe we are underway now in qualifying. So if the game would load. But so we are just waiting for the game to load us into here we go. No number one driver. Don't quite know what's happened there. We're missing in both Alpines. So hang on, please just give me. So we are missing both Alpines, an Alfa Romeo, both Alpines and Alfa Romeo. Oh, quickly. We're not supposed to be. Oh, and McLaren as well. I believe that are the only drivers we are missing. So. But guys, the first out onto the track now, followed closely behind by his teammate. It is just me commentating today. I will be commentating Tier 3 tomorrow as well. Oh no, I've decided to go on to the intermediates as well. No one else, it doesn't look like no one else would join, and so most likely it is just gonna be quickly just invite Fozzie back, so no one will be eliminated. I would be very surprised if enough drivers did join for people to be eliminated. So where is Fozzie? Oh well. So, but a couple drivers on the outlap and a couple starting it now. Yeah, just coming out of Sector 1 now, going down into Turn 4. Not taking as much curb as he can there, but a very nice momentum carried through. And slightly wide there, missing apex a bit. Good amount of curb there, however, especially doing well to avoid the Mercedes of Honor. And now coming around the final corner, and he's going to come to the line. It's looking like it can be a very good time here. A 1:04.3, definitely room for improvement, as his teammate going to the line now as well, but he invalidated. Just try finding another driver who is on a lap. NJM, don't know how he's kept that quite valid, and he invalidates on the final corner, and that will be at this next lap. That would have put him in a second position. Jack now as well, he's coming across the line. That's cross it, and it's going to be a 1:05.4, so a lot of room for improvement there. As NGM with the invalidation, of course. Ono really struggling on these intermediates. These things. Unsurprising, obviously, as we are missing a number 3. Don't quite know what has happened there, but going in sector 8, he's gonna have to be very careful that he doesn't back up the Aston Martin of Neon Car behind him. Well, both the Aston Martins starting to pit. There's one over this at 112. And GM coming into the pits now. Is that one over ahead of him? Yes, it was. No, it was not. Quite a few guys slow face here now on a lap. Couple drivers choosing and opting for the intermediates, which is fair enough, as Face has set a purple sector to do there. Can he break a barrier and go beneath a 103? Oh no, he spins out of turn 8 or turn 9 even. And that was looking for a good lap time. Luckily avoids the walls and doesn't accumulate any damage. As Esty plays now. And his teammate in the wall there, I believe. Yeah. Intermediate's not helping him. As the Red Bull Xi'an there slowing down. Bestie plays coming around turn 9 now. Very nicely. A bit hesitant there out of turn 8 or turn 10 even, and that has cost him an invalidation, and that would have put him in second. Not what he'd like. OPJ Radders 1044, but he's invalidated as well. On the final corner, a lot of people struggling. And unsurprisingly so, that final corner is very difficult to get right. And it is the make or break point of certain laps, because if you can get the final corner well, you can set a really good lap, and it can also deeply affect stuff. And I don't quite think a 17.2 was a purple sector one, but if the game says so, I'll quickly just go and check, see what is happening. Nothing happening in server. And there we go. There is all the attendance strikes there. Missing Big Massive Sam, Great Horizon, Polo Procan, and GSR. So but Toastman putting himself in fourth there with that lap. Let's try and catch her now. So invalidated. Xi'an has an invalidated. This looks like a bit of a drive in there. And then Cat invalidated. Fozzie invalidating. NJM invalidating. OPJ Radders, he hasn't invalidated. What can he do here now? A bit hesitant to go down the gears, it seems. And I could have cost him a lot. But it is a purple sector 2. As he does have the Red Bull of Xi'an, I believe, in front of him. Hopefully it doesn't hold him up, and it has. And that could be a penalty, very easily. As Xi'an did just get in his way. But ST plays, he is on a lap now, it is also valid. So what is he going to be able to do with this? Going into turn 4 now. Taking the apex quite nicely, maybe not quite as much curb, a slight bit of oversteer, and it may have lost him some speed. Essentially a bit wide there, but keeps it clean as well as the purple sector. Coming into turns 6 and 7 and 8 very nicely, not using too much curb, but making sure to keep it clean. Coming around turn 9 now, very good, pushing the car right to the limits. And now turn 10, and that's once again very clean, and that's going to put him into P2 with the 104.6. Majority of the drivers setting a lap, obviously they are on B. As Fuzzy gets a 5-place grid penalty for collision, I believe SD plays. Do not quite know what that was about. And that is very unfortunate, as that means SD Plays does have to come into the pits. And I did not quite catch it. It was on a lap on his softs. But Neon Cap, from the looks of things, really struggling to keep his laps valid, as Sour Face gets in the way of him there, and that is very unfortunate there. I don't really think there's much Sir could have done the other way, maybe pulling over to the side that Fozzie was parked on, but just very unfortunate he's come around the final few corners that, and he's invalidated it, and he's decided to come into the pits. A very late entry, that would be penalised in the race. So Face goes into the pits now. And JM, only driver now currently on track aside from Aloon, as he does let Aloon go past. Both on the intermediate tyres. But let's watch Aloon's lap. What is he able to do? Come on the final corner now. He gets a nice exit there as he does start his lap. And it's a pretty bad turn one there, obviously. Intermediates do not help, but... And 17.4, so 3/10 down. I don't really even know why I'm going over this. It's not like it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things or at all. As I believe we do actually have 15. No, we don't. Still only with 14 drivers. So it's very unfortunate for us, but it's how things go. FSC manage it very well, and who doesn't love FSC? Purple Sector got into the game. Don't think that's quite true, but we move. He comes around the final corner now, and he was invalid on the final corner. That's unlucky. I believe that would have put him fastest of all the intermediate runners, so yes, by a very long distance. Just asking if DJ invalidating his lap. So with Face, he's kept his lap valid. So we'll see how this goes. His 13.5, I believe, was set on the soft tyres. We'll quickly just check that. It was, yeah. Yes, as he spun out of turn 8, so... There's a huge snap there. Out of turn 4 as he has to glide past the SLX Toastman. The surface now coming around the final few corners as drivers are beginning to retire. Now, surface going around the final corner, he keeps it valid, and it's going to be a 1:13.2. So I've just had confirmation that the grid penalty that Fozzie did acquire was a legitimate grid penalty. So yes, I believe Fuzzy was weaving on the straights, and he didn't see the SD plays was there and collided into him. It was very lucky. It was the DNF, wasn't a DNF apparently. So, but now we're just waiting for final few drivers to finish and just get the background. You get a very good amount of laps here in Austria because your outlap is. You can get a very fast outlap, because obviously the pit exit puts you out past of turn 1, and there's a very short track as well, so it's a nice track. I think most people do enjoy Austria. It's a very easy track as well, but quite difficult to find time. So, for the time trial merchants out there, not what you especially like, but that is how it goes. Compared to a track like China, you can find a lot of time there. Or Belgium as well, Spa. That's probably the best example of where you can find some time. So Toastman coming out of turn 4 now. Turn 3 even. Going into turn 4 now. That's turn 4. Zaloon goes faster for the 104.068. 3 times faster than Gurr on the soft tyres, just trying to maybe see where his pace stacks up against everyone else. Drivers like him, pardon me. As SLX Toastman spins out of turn 8 there. It will not be too punishing as no drivers are going to get eliminated, but just don't know what sort of lap he was on for as the final few drivers come round. Of course, for the final time, we just have to wait and see who. I believe it will be Xian who finishes last. Yeah, last couple drivers just coming around now. Xian. So a Face who has put it in the wall, and that is on a pair of softs. And that could be quite bad because that's one less pair for the race, which you can rely on, and oh, as he spins out of turn 9 there, doesn't hit the wall, but that renders this pair of tyres completely unusable. And I also believe he did use 2 sets. Oh, as he spins across the finish line. I'll see the game completely wear away those tyres. So he only used 1 set of softs. But that's, what, 3 less now for the race. I don't know why he'd use 3 pairs, but if he needed to, he can't anymore. So, unfortunate for him. But it's a Loon who takes provisional pole here in qualifying 1 with a 104.068. Not too far behind, about 2.4 tenths, but this was not a real qualifying session. If the times were looking like this, Tier 4 is faster. So, I'm only talking about the soft runners, so Neon Cat and above here. But in Tier 4, it's a great little race there, only 6 drivers, so not too much. But RFWC, I believe, crashing out on around lap 8. And eventually saw Zakiman taking the win away from Rimac, as the penalties really changed the entire race. If there had been no penalties for anyone, it would have been a pretty simple win for Rimac, but unfortunately. But we are now have a green light and we are underway into Q2 now. So I will quickly just check that I am streaming, as there has not been a notification on. Please bear with me. Here we go. So yeah, stream is up as Successman is the first to leave the pit. As now we can really see some drivers actually set some proper laps, as there will only be 4 drivers eliminated, but that is 4 more than last session. So we will see how things go here. Fozzy, quite a few drivers actually on the mediums. It is obviously the preferred tyre for this track. I mean, it's a preferred tyre for most tracks. It just allows so much adaptability. As if there's an early safety car, it doesn't matter. You're not forced to pit. As a Successman coming into the pits now, I'm not quite sure. Maybe on the wrong pair of softs, or achieve front wing damage. I'm not quite sure. So it'll be Honor who is the first to start his lap here in T1, round 4 in Austria. He may be caught. Oh, as he nearly spins out of turn 1 there, and it's a huge snap, but I think he'll continue on. He recovered that really well and held it very successfully. A 16.4. That's looking like my time, so I think he'll have to abandon this lap. I mean, he'll probably continue on, just get a good banker set, but Definitely not preferable. Lucky it wasn't his proper lap, as NJM on the mediums not far behind him. You'll have to be careful as he goes a bit wide there on a but NJM will have to be careful of dirty air, doesn't want to accumulate any. That could be the difference. Keeping it valid there over the curb at turn 8. A lot of people do invalidate that. Is a oh, and invalidating there on turn 9. A lot of drivers do that, and it would have been a 104.7. So very good sector 2 and 3s, but ST plays his teammate going fastest with a 104.7. That meant NJM must have been validated, but Gurr topping them all on this hardest set of tyres with a 104.4. That's very good pace. Fozzie now, he's on his lap. I believe that's Sourface, maybe, who's not far behind. I guess we will see when one cross the lines. So yes, it is Sourface just behind him. As I believe, I do not quite know if he is maybe spun, but Sourface, however, he hasn't spun, so he is on his lap on the mediums, going around the final corner. Maybe not quite pushing the car to his limits as much as he could do, and that's a 105.4 on the medium tyres. Very far off they all are, off of Go and OPJ. They all know there's time to be found. It Honor going fastest with a 104.3. I will quickly just change my batteries, so I will be back in a minor amount of time. Work? This is the big question. So hello there everyone, I am back. So Sheehan now is on his lap on the medium tyres, just coming into sector 2. Coming up to turn 4. How's he going to play this? Is he pushing the car to the limits? Yes, he is. He's going right to the, using all the curb he can. Very nice gear changing as well there. And that's very clean. You just gotta... This track, I've noticed, there are a few braking zones where a lap can change or be made. And if you can consistently get there are some very good lap times, and just push the car right to the limits, you'll do perfectly fine. Sheehan putting the Red Bull in P6 with a 105.3, and OPJ Radders in the Ferrari putting his car into first with a 104.3. As DJ Plex has invalidated Sourface, however, just sector 1 now. He has not. He has had a terrible sector 1 though, and that will be his lap over. Let's select Toastman, however, he is 3 seconds up. He needs to find a bit more time in that final sector if he's to be able to compete with the other driver's time. That's a very nice turn 9 there. That's going to put his turn 8 as well. He goes, oh, that's perfect. He's doing all the curb, and he's comes to the line. That's put him into P4. Very good lap from himself on the medium tyres. Still waiting for a few drivers to set a lap. A couple, Fozzie and NJM. And a few drivers at risk of elimination. Jack and Junior still yet to set a lap, but Neon Cat, he is a prime candidate for being eliminated at the moment. 4 tenths slower than Gian, who is 6 tenths slower than SD plays, so definitely they will need to go out for a next lap as NJM using all the curb there. Very close to invalidating, I assume so, as Dreamer puts his car into P2, and that will remove any threat of him being eliminated. Only 1700ths behind Balloon there, both on the mediums, as I believe that is Jack, who NJM has just passed, is going around the final corner now. And he does not invalidate, so he's going to the line, and it's going to be a 1048. Putting him in P10, and he will have to go again. Still time to go, so no big worries. Xian, however, he is on the brink of elimination. 1054 currently, 1053 even currently, as he's going around turn 9, and now turn 10 and invalidates. 1049, he wouldn't even have gone up any places, so he needs to find some time. Neon Cat just starting his lap on the soft tyres. Going up now into sector 1. How much time is he going to be up / down? 1.4 tenths up. He needs to find more time than that, as he has invalidated. Do not quite know how, but has. But for the Haas boys, it's not looking good, as I believe so that is Fozzie, who has just exited the pits after his fantastic win at Spain last week. Very enjoyable to watch, and a very enjoyable race all round. As SD Plays is on a lap now. 55 seconds now, coming into turn 8. That's a very good time. Pushing the car right to the limits. He's going to the line now, and he's going to put his car into P2. 2,000 separating him and Alone. That is... it does not get much tighter than that. That is... I think that's the closest I've ever seen here in F1WL. Such equal pace. 1700 separating those top 3. Teammate Honor, however, of SD Plays, what can he do about it? Can he put himself ahead of his teammate? Or can he put himself on pole position here in Q2? He's coming around turn 8 there, makes sure to use a generous amount of curb, but doesn't invalidate. That's the key thing. A slight bit of oversteer in turn 8 there, but he's going to line. Very nice final corner, and he puts himself in pole position. That is a 104.038, and that will see him through. A great lap from him. Mercedes, a great day so far. Haas, however, Fozzie, he is on his lap on the medium, so he's very desperate to start on these mediums. So purple sector 2. What can he do now as he invalidates on turn 8? That could be the game changer. But I assume he will go again. Yes, he does. As Neon Cat, Jack, and Jag both opting to go onto the sauce. I assume Xian and NJM and Sir Face will as well. Always, Fozzie completely misses his braking point, and he's gonna have. I think that may be him out, because that'll definitely be front wing damage for him there, as he does leave the session. But that is not what he would like. Maybe he's using the fact that if he leaves the session, his car gets put into the garage, to potentially help him. As Jack got Gar in front of him. Is Gar on a lap? Gar is not, and that has caused Jack to have to back off, I believe. Yeah, he didn't even have ERS activated. But Jack. So Fozzie, I think, will be able to get out now. As Jack starts his lap. He needs a good lap. If he fails this, it's all done. He's not going to be able to do anything now. And he, for some reason, has backed off. I don't quite know what's happened there. What has happened to Jack here? Seems very jittery, almost, but we want to Neon Cat now. A 1 minute 7 seconds in Sector 1 now. That's an incredibly long time. Don't quite know what is happening here. As his timer has now reset out of Sector 2. So, I have no clue. Guess we can see exactly. Oh, as he goes right over the curbs there. Doesn't invalidate according to the game. Not sure how true that is. But Jack now, he can start his lap. A good turn 1 there. Pushing the car quite a bit to the limits. But coming up now into turn 3. It's going to be 2 seconds up already. Maybe it's the lag that's not helping him. There's a pretty bad turn 3 there. Is Fozzie going to make it round? I think he will, providing that SLX Toastman doesn't hold him up in any way. It's going to be close, however. He's going right to the line, but he does make it. SLX Toastman right in front of him, and that's not where he wants to be. He will just want Toastman to get out of the way for him, but I don't think that's quite possible, as Jack is really starting to lag now. But he's going to come to the line, and it's going to see him through. Hopefully. For him. A 1:04.5. He needs to find some more time. As Fozzie, according to this game, is finished. Oh, and he's really starting to lag now. He's very irritated, I believe, most likely, by SLX Toastman, who is right in front of him, and will really be holding him up. As NJM coming around the final few corners now and coming to the line, what time is it going to be? So 1:04.077. And just look at how close those top 5 are. And that put Jack at risk of as he doesn't get eliminated. Fozzie, on the other hand, does get eliminated. But it is Onurb. A very good day for Mercedes so far. Onurb and taking provisional pole in Q2, and SD Plays taking 3rd. Alun taking 2nd on the mediums. Very, very strong time. The Jack getting through by the skin of his teeth, and Fozzie not setting a time. But so Honor making it through along with Loon, SD Plays, NGM, Dreamer, DJ Perks, OPJ Radders, Gur, SLX Toastman, and Jack. believe we are having a few lobbies. But we do have the green flag now in Q3. As these drivers are just going to have to... they're going to have to pull something big out of the hat, I personally think. So face backed out of his lap, and if he hadn't, he would have been in Q3. But that's very unfortunate for him. But I personally think Alone will be taking pole position here. His medium time was second and was faster than basically everyone else on the sauce. And just imagine Alone on the softs then. How much more time he could gain just by the pure fact that they are soft tyres compared to mediums. But we shall see in around about 11 minutes whether he actually does take pole position or not. But it is DJ who will be setting the first lap of this race. So, as he's just on his out lap, every driver that ST plays now has left the pits. ST plays now coming out as we speak. That starting his lap now. DJ Perks coming into turn 1. What is he going to do? Takes it very nicely. It's almost perfect there. Maybe not maintaining quite as much momentum as you possibly can, but that's a very good. Very good sector 1 time there, 15.97 flat. As he's going into turn 4, DRS wide open, ERS in use. Shifting down the gears into turn 3. Short shifting up into turn gear 4. Taking the corner quite nicely. Using a bit of engine braking there almost. And very close there to him. To getting an invalidation, but manages to hold it, and that's a good time. And so it's looking like it could be a very good lap, as providing he doesn't invalidate on the final corner. Taking a bit too much curve down entry, but it won't matter too much as he comes to the line. So 1039. That is a very strong time now. So PJ Radis puts his car in P2, and it will be the teammate who puts Dreamer, who puts his car in pole position. Jack coming to the line now as well. He puts his car in P4. Not too much between them. SLX Toastman now is invalidated, so it'll be the McLaren NJM who is also invalidated. And then it'll be Alone who crosses the line now. Can he take pole position? Yes, he can. Oh, no, he can't. So purple sector 3, but it's not quite enough. As Honor about to cross the line now. I believe he invalidated, so it will be who puts his car into P5, and SD plays now will be the next. But Dreamer currently in pole position now. Alone not too far behind, about a 10th separating them. But then it's the other AlphaTauri, DJ Perks, who is currently in P3. As SD plays, crosses lines at 105.9. Definitely can improve upon that. As DJ Perks comes into the pits, and I believe so does AP. Oh, PJ Radder staying out. He is trying to improve upon this time, and I believe he'll be starting a new lap now. Yeah, no ERS was in use that current lap. Jack coming into the pits, I assume along with Dreamer. Oh, NGM, let's see. He also decides to come into the pits. I do not know whether... Honor, brother, he will be setting a lap now. Coming around the final corner, very nice. Now he's coming to the line now, and it's going to be a 104.4, putting him just ahead of his teammate, but not too far behind Jack. SLX Toastman, he comes into the pits. Alone will be as well. And I assume SD Plays will be... Ooh, he stays out. He thinks... Oh, yes, as he got a very bad first lap, and he's going to the line. That's a 109.103.9. Putting him just ahead of DJ, 1400 separating them. 1400, yeah, 1400 separating them. As OPJ Radders, he's coming around the final few corners, but he's coming into the pits now. So it is just the two Mercedes. Oh, sorry, mistaken. There is a Alpha Tauri going onto the track now. DJ Perks, that is on has invalidated his, and SD Plays. Do not know whether. I don't think it's a proper lap. Yeah, he is backed out. But DJ Perks and Jack opted to come out for another lap relatively early compared to the other drivers. The other Alpha Tauri of Dream currently in pole position. A very strong lap by himself. 6 minutes left in this session, so it's definitely room to get 3 laps done if you've got spare tyres, even if you use a used tyre. So, but thanks to them not having to use one in Q1, they will have a spare set. So this could be looking good for this could be the game changer, as DJ Perks has started his lap. Now going into turn 1. Oh, and he invalidates. That was very close. On another day, you wouldn't have invalidated that one. That was very unfortunate. Can Jack make amends? Put himself, get a good lap together. I mean, 104.1 is not a bad lap by any means. But compared to the other drivers in T1, he needs to find around a 10th. And that would do him very well. A 10th would put him up into P5, which is a much better starting position than P7. So it's a purple sector 1 for him and everyone on the grid. So it's looking good so far. Coming in turn 4 now. What's he going to be able to do with this? How is he going to take it? Very nicely is how he is. And it's very good there. Going to turn 5 now, Xian. Left the session. I wouldn't find him just a second. Oh, pushing the car right to the limits there. And missing the apex by quite a bit. And turn 9, that's going to invalidate him there. That is not what he would like at all. And he was looking for a good lap, but he's going to come into the pits now. And Dreamer, he is on a lap, but he is also invalidated. Here's the Aston Martin girl right ahead of him. Don't quite. There we go. But Gurr, starting his lap now, he needs to find some pace. We know he can. So let's watch it. I think he'll be probably setting a 103.8 here. Going out of sector 1, and that is going to be a 109. 115.9. Sorry, 15.9. Don't know where I got the 1 from, but 2800's up. So good first sector. Especially considering there's only 1 corner. Coming into turn 4 now. Taking a lot of curb as you need to, and using enough on exit for it to be helpful. Quite a few drivers don't want to, as that's a purple sector 2 for him there, and this is looking good. Very nice camera angle as he's going around the final few corners. Going around the final corner now, takes it very cleanly, very nicely, using a lot of curb on exit, and that's a 103.8, just as I predicted. Only just a 103.8, but I'm taking that as a 103.8. OPJ Radders, however, saying a purple sector 1 and 5800's up. He definitely can find the time to put himself up there, so it's a question of can he. Not quite using enough curb on there on the inside, but it won't affect him too much. Sorry about that. As he nearly spins around turn 8 there, and that puts him 1/10 down. And I believe he will back off. He decides not to back off. He's going around the final few corners. Assume we'll just go for consecutives now, maybe. As he doesn't validate down the final corner. Would have not have put him up any places. That was a good lap by him as Guy does come into the pits. That's next Toastman, however. He is invalidated, but currently stuck behind the Mercedes von Erb. I assume he'll just be wanting to increase the gap between him and von Erb, trying to avoid any dirty air. As he plays, will be starting his lap now. As DJ saying a purple sector 1. Going down now. He has have the Mercedes or Ferrari of OPJ Riders. Lets him past. And coming into turn 4, very nicely taken there. Seeing that very often, that drivers just using the perfect amount of curb. Very clean through there as well as a purple sector 1 and 2 now. As that is the Alfa Romeo of Aloon who gets out of the way for him. Going around into the final few corners. Can he take pole position here? Can he keep it valid around the final corner? Yes, he can, but he has a huge amount of oversteer. And that may cost him pole position. It does. Only just. But he will be starting in P2 unless he can get this next lap to be equally as good. But he's 62 hundredths up, and I think that'll be all for him today. As he plays now, going around the final corner, he will be starting his lap for now, I assume so. On Herb as well, he'll be starting his lap on his next set, his next run. But that is very unfortunate for DJ, because that was the pole lap, but just a slight amount of oversteer on turn 10, and that's cost him. As NJM lets, I believe, Dreamer go past. Oh no, it's DJ. DJ maybe. As DJ goes into first. That's pole position for him. I didn't think he'd stand a chance at getting it with his lap, as Alex Toastman has been disqualified from the session as he was going the wrong way. That is not what he would like. But now on his lap. Actually, we should probably go watch Dreamer. But he is spun out of turn 8 from the looks of things. And he's going to have to make sure to get out of the way of people now. Jack just managing to avoid him. 74 hundredths up as he's coming around the final few corners. Keeps it valid. The lag there. And he puts his car in P6. And Honor not managing to find much time. And he puts his car just behind Jack. NJM will be starting in P9 then. Unable to find much more time. As Aloon's coming around the final corner. Can he snatch pole away from DJ? Yes, he can. A 10th found. And Gurr going 5 thousandths faster than Dreamer. And that's been a very good lap from Gurr, putting himself in P3. It's a very underrated driver, Gurr, in my opinion. Especially last season. Not many people actually realised how he was always doing very well. I believe he joined midway through, so. And he kind of just got swooped up by Aston Martin and Inspector Seb, making a wonderful signing. But it is Aloon who takes pole position here in Spielberg, but not far behind. It's DJ Perks in the Alpha Tower. A very good day at the office for them. Then Guy on the Aston Martin and DJ's teammate Dreamer in P4, unable to improve on his final lap, spinning, potentially maybe losing him pole position. SD plays in the Mercedes, a good lap from himself, doing very well. And then the Haas of Jack, obviously Fozzie, his teammate, getting that 5-place grid penalty. Then it is the other Mercedes, not quite how they would have wanted Q3 to have gone, but it is a good session for them nonetheless. Then Ferrari of OPJ Radders, and then the NJM of McLaren, only one driver from McLaren today, and that's SLX Toastman after being disqualified. I do not quite know what for. Maybe he spun and drove a bit backwards a bit to try and get back out onto track, but we'll send him to the back as we do head out onto the race now. But we're just waiting for the final few drivers to get out onto the track. But a very good lap from Aloon. We will be underway here in 25 seconds. I do hope I set everything up correctly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, 1, and here we go. Just waiting for Dreamer to load, and here we go. And formation lap is on, thankfully. There we go. So here is the top 4 then, starting on medium tyres. Aloon taking pole position, then DJ not far behind his teammate Dreamer, starting in P2 and P4, sandwiching the Aston Martin of Gert. ST plays then on the soft tyres. They also have a Mercedes, sandwiching the Haas, much like the Aston Martins and Alpha Tauris. Then the Ferrari of OPJ Radders on the mediums in P8, and NJM in the McLaren in the softs down in P9. To SLX Toastman after his qualification from qualifying on the medium tyres, starting in P10, sour face after backing out in his quali lap, which would have put him through to Q3, starting in 11th on the medium tyres as well. Xian, his Toastman SLX, his teammate SLX Toastman in P10, then they're both sandwiching the Ferraris. A lot of sandwiches today. And then the other Aston Martin of Neon Cat starting in P13, and Fuzzy after he got his 5-place grid penalty starting in P14. That rounds up the grid there. I believe this is the lowest Fuzzy has ever started. Also looks like he's having a few internet issues. But I'll take him around the final corner and we will be underway very shortly. Ooh. So, found a few drivers just lining up for the grid. And then we will be underway. 36 laps of racing. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Spielberg. And it's lights out and away we go. That's a wonderful start there for Aloon, and an incredible start there for SD Plays as he goes straight up to P3, but Dreamer finding back down the inside. Ow, and he's nearly spun, and that's allowed Jack to get up to P5 as well. Gerd down to P6, a terrible start for him. SLX Toastman already overtaken McLaren's. He's starting to make moves happen on looking for a move, and that's Dreamer, who has gone down the inside, I believe, of SD Plays there. And they've nearly spun twice now, but Fozzie up 2 places already on the soft compound as he looks to increase the gap, as Dreamer and SD Plays are still going at it. They have to be very careful. Don't want to hit each other out, and that would be their race over. But Sour Face now up into P10, and that's a yellow flag there. And I do not quite know who that is. It is Honour. He is, I believe he just spun, so hopefully he doesn't have any damage, but that has moved him to the back of the grid. As Dreamer has managed to take back that podium position in P3. He's taken it away from SD Plays. I'm sure he will be looking for it. Oh, Dreamer almost lagging back into him there. But Jack, he'll be very happy with his start, going up from P6 to P5. And I'm sure he'll be waiting and will be absolutely prowling for any mistakes from either of the two drivers. as a couple drivers already with the yellow lights on. Or Jack even with the yellow light on. Already. I do not quite know what strategy Jack is going for here. But that could potentially be really bad. Maybe predicting us some safety cars. As the grid begins to widen out now. But as he plays, sticking with Dreamer. As we will just quickly check. Warnings for top 5. No drivers of any yet, so that's very good for them. Unlike tier 4, where after one lap, 4 drivers had got 3 seconds time penalties. But DRS is now enabled, and SD Play is making full use of that. In fact, most of the drivers on the grid make full use of that. As I believe that was Neon Cat who just got double overtaken there. Then gets a double overtake on those two. Fozzie is very close behind NJM now, and he'll be looking for a move anytime shortly. One mistake and that will be it. Fozzie will make the move happen. What could he do about this? Going a bit wide there in that corner. And that's going to allow NJM to slip away quite a bit. But FD Play still right behind. That'll be a warning for FD Plays there. So that's the first one. Is he does set the fastest lap of the race. But he gets that's a very bad turn 1 there. ERS fully in use along with the slipstream, and should be able to gain quite a bit of time here. 1.2 tenths up. Dream has a bit of a moment then. That's going to allow SD Plays to get right on the back of him. What's he able to do here? Jack still with the yellow light on. He will really be hoping for some safety cars, as Fozzie has made the move now on NJM. Ghosting for a second there, not quite sure why. As Dream and SD Plays are going side by side from the looks of things. SD Plays with the inside line, and he manages to get the move done. I will quickly just invite so with face. As Dreamer has taken P3 from, or has kept P3 from SD Plays, but Honor picking up a 3-second time penalty at the back of the grid, not what he would have wanted his start to go like. But Jack just sticking with them very well. That yellow light, very worrying. As SD Plays and Dreamer making a bit of contact there. I don't quite know. Maybe a misunderstanding there as a loon. Maybe bad corner and that messed up DJ. DJ then messing up Dreamer. But SD Plays him. He's right behind them all. And he's just prowling for the move as Lobby's just done that glitch. Neon Can Honor having a nice little battle at the back of the grid here. But I believe Neon Cat has got the move done. But SD Plays unable to get the move around Dreamer, even with the better tyres. And that would not be what he would like. Not my GRS left as well. So this isn't like a good position as DJ goes down the inside there of Aloon. But Aloon will get the better exit as he did go wide, but I believe he's made the move stick. But oh, DJ, what's happened to Dreamer even? Got back behind Jack, so he must have been completely messed up there. That's DJ and Aloon went side by side, and he's just lost a few positions, and that's allowed the gap to widen up to 7 tenths now between SD Plays and Aloon. As Neon Cat has, I believe, spun out of turn 4? Yes, he has. NGM with 3 seconds. But now Jack up to P4 now. He'll be looking for a move on the ST players at some point in time, I'm sure. The gap between Alun and ST begins to widen. Here's Alun gonna look for a move here. He's gonna... oh, he's not gonna go down the inside. So yellow flag randomly there. In Sector 2, I believe that was where Neon Cat spun, but Alun's gonna go down the inside and maybe not quite turning in enough, but he does get the move to stick, and he is ahead of DJ now. Great move, to be fair. Maybe not quite leaving enough room, but a very good move. He did well to stay side by side, especially with the dirty air, as that is a Mercedes there who is in the wall. That's Honour. Just gotta be watch out for Neon Cat, but that's not how he would like his afternoon to go. Lobby is a bit slow. The grid very close together. An 8-man DRS train here. Oh, and he's put it into the wall again. On still got a front wing. Don't quite know how, but he does. But that is so effaced there. We spun out of turn 1 and nearly spins again. As we got a yellow flag in sector 2 now. As DJ does get the move on Alun. Oh, it's getting closer every lap between these 4 drivers. Huge DRS train. As Onub comes into the pits, must have had front wing damage after those 2 spins. Oh, but there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Sector 2 even, I don't quite know what that was for. Just a random yellow flag in sector 1 now. I believe the game is just delayed, because that's exactly where yellow flags have been, but on the previous laps. Yellow flags everywhere. Oh, and that's Jack! He's round! Out of turn 1, he's put it in the wall. He's still in this race. Only just though. And that is not good. He's very lucky to still be in this race, and on another day that would be a DNF. SC plays right behind Alun now, as he doesn't know ERS, or very little ERS compared to Alun, but still something. But Jack will be having to pit now. SC plays getting a 3-second time penalty, constant yellow flags everywhere. That is not good, but Honour already being lapped. But DJ now can just extend the gap between him and Alun, as he just begin to cruise. Alun with a yellow light warning on his fuel, with only 10 laps gone. As NJM also coming into the pits. Don't know why there are... It's just probably from the previous laps. There's... oh, Alun! Alun has been spun as OPJ ran a sing behind him from behind there. And that means SD plays now can be released onto DJ. Dreamer, however, this is looking... oh, as SD plays goes very wide there. That's allowed Dreamer to go through, so currently it's an AlphaTauri 1-2. It's been a great day so far for them. Just got to hold on for 26 more laps, so nearly a third of the race gone. However, he's been silently making moves up the track after that poor start from himself. A couple slip-ups here and there, as that will be a warning for SD plays. On the medium tyres, seeing as SD plays is in a bad position here, really he needs to be in first, and he needs to be accelerating away. but he has been unable to do that. Oh, as he hits the back of Dreamer, nearly sending him round, and that could be front wing damage for SD Plays. Doesn't look like it, but he's fortunate not to, as Alune makes the move on OPJ Radders. And he's made it stick as well. Fozzie looks like he's wanting to get in on the action, as it's so close up and down the grid, but that small little collision between SD Plays and Dreamers allowed DJ to get out of the DRS, and that could leave SD Plays, allowing SD Plays to make an easy move on Dreamer, as he has nothing to latch onto. Only difficulty is SD Plays has no ERS. But there's on a not conceding the position. That could be a talking to with the FIA potentially. But Dreamer going really wide there in that corner. That's allowed Gert to go up the inside, as SD Plays had a terrible turn 3 once again, and Gert is back up to P2. Alune up to P3 now as well. Jack does set the fastest lap of this race. He's hungry to get back into the action. He wants to redeem himself. But SLX Toastman not far behind SD Plays. Started in P6 and he's now up to P10 as SD Plays coming into the pits now. Now that's allowed SLX Toastman to get back up to P5. Fozzie will have to be pitting soon then as well. It's been a great recovery drive so far. Up from P14 to P6. Incredible that is. And the horrible sounding noise of the Ferrari engine. But the grid beginning to spread out now. Xian not far behind, so we're facing, he'll get the DRS in this next zone as well. There's a lot of oversteer and he's late on the throttle, and that's so it's gone now. He does still have the DRS and he has lots of ERS to use. But I don't think he'll be able to get close to Surf for a while now. Dreamer not far behind Alune now. He's going to be looking for a move soon, as SD Plays did have to pit. And that puts him right behind Sheehan actually. As going onto the straights, they'll be the closest of any two drivers on the grid. Yeah, they're going to be very close, as SD Plays maybe going up the inside in turn 1. He is going to, and he's got the inside line. And he's made the move. And he's made it stick as well. Great move there. So Toastman joining back. His AI doing him wonders there. Keep him in P5. Fozzie doing well to hold on to these softs. Every driver here will be, I assume, doing the one stop. As SD Plays makes the move on Sir, but Sir maybe looking for the switchback, decides no, doesn't, or isn't able to, doesn't get a good enough exit. And that will be him gone. Fozzie getting another 3 seconds. Alright, we'll have a quick look at the penalties now. So Fozzie with 6 seconds, Ono with 6 seconds, and OPJ Radders, SD Plays, and NJM both with all with 3 seconds. And still ghosted for some reason. He has joined back. NJM makes the move on Xian, and he's miles ahead of him now. And he can start drifting away, but Alune right behind Dreamer. Toastman, but it looks things is having big internet issues. But only 5 tenths separating both of these drivers now. Still yet to see any drivers DNF, which is always wonderful. But Jack's still just with the yellow fuel sign, as a loon can get right up behind Dreamer out of turn 3. Right behind him now, and he may be looking for a move up the inside. Not able to go for it too much of a lunge. And he hasn't been able to gain that much. But he's still sticking very well behind him, as Fozzie is closing in on SLX Toastman. He'll be getting DRS on the next lap. See the sauce are beginning to drop off, and he decides to come into the pits. Maybe a bit early, but you can definitely do 19 laps on the mediums, so as OPJ Radders does overtake him, and I believe SD Plays will as well. Is Sour Face? Yes it is, and Sheehan as well, I believe. His teammate will not overtake him, but oh, and in fact it's going to be close between Sheehan and Fozzie. Fozzie not far behind Sheehan. Sheehan still yet to make the pit stop. So that's been a good drive. That's been a very good drive on the softs there. SLX Toastman still not back in the race. The Dreamer, Balloon overtaken Dreamer now. I assume using a DRS. But when are we going to see these medium runners begin to go in? They need to go to lap 20. So it's not going to be for a while. Zaloon lands his 3-second time penalty. But OPJ Radders going in very early, as SLX Toastman has dropped back to P13 according to the game. Don't quite think that is correct, considering he is behind Dreamer. Are we going to see some more lobby issues like last season? So far it's looking like we are. But has Gur been able to close up the gap? As we will, I hope, begin to start seeing the intervals again. So 1.5 now separating them. As the game has really messed over SLX Toastman, but he is back now. In P5, he can begin to start driving his own car. As Neon Cat wildly far behind everyone. NJM picking up another 3-second time penalty. And that could be make a big difference. Jack unable to overtake OPJ Radders after his pit stop, so Jack really gonna have to hope for a safety car. But no drivers that close to each other except for Dreamer and a Loon. But Dreamer, he refuses to go into a higher gear there. Definitely should. As DJ, the first of the medium runners to come into the pit stop, so he will get the undercut on everyone. Dreamer right behind a Loon, however, now. This is going to be his best chance so far. The gap, two tenths, one tenth, and he's going to go round the outside. He's got the inside line and he's made the move. Very good move there. Not much mechanical grip left, but it won't matter too much as there we go. It gets restored. Gap to 3 tenths as Sir getting a 3-second time penalty. As Fozzie makes the move on him. Fozzie doing very well on these mediums, already up 2 places, 3 places even. One with the help of being really helped there by the pit stop of OPJ riders as well. But he has been unable to overtake DJ, who is sitting now in P6 as... Oh, Alone getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lanes. There was someone else before that. I will just quickly try and see who that was. That was Dreamer, both getting 5 seconds for speeding. DJ right behind SD Plays now, as he's made the undercut work perfectly. And now there's a 5-second gap as Fozzie getting another 3 seconds. This is looking like tier 4. For him, DJ got past SD Plays now, and it's a very easy move really for him. NJM right behind Fozzie, and sorry, not Fozzie, Dreamer and Alone. They've been battling it up and down the grid now, and they're going to continue to. Now in P6 and P5, still yet for the Gur and SLX Toastman to pit, as Toast does come into the pit stops. Gur trying to see how long he can take it on those softs. The DJ sets the fastest lap of the race at 1:04.9. Jack is just going to have to hope there is a safety car. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to do anything. He can't get back into this. But Toast will be exiting the pits just ahead of his teammate Xian in P9. So that puts Fozzie up to P7. However, he does have 9 seconds of time penalties to worry about. SD Plays good close behind, and so with Face has retired from the sessions. And that wasn't in the pit lane, so that could potentially be a qualifying ban. As his car has pulled over to the side there, and it's gone. There we go. Don't quite know why Neon Cat hasn't retired yet, but who knows. I believe that is Jack, who's right behind Sheehan, yeah. Sheehan's still yet to pit, and there he goes into the pit lane now. But, so Jack now into the point for the first time since his spin. Deeply affected his race and ruined any chances he had of scoring a top 5 position. His teammate Fozzie, great recovery drive from him as Gur has come into the pits. And that's going to allow DJ to get very far ahead of them. He may even be overtaken Gur by Fozzie and NJM as well. It will be close. Depends how their turn 1 goes, as they're going to be right next to each other, Gur and Fozzie. But Fozzie is ahead. So Gur now down into P7. after his pit stop, and Fozzie up to P6, a good recovery drive from him. Fozzie, however, is on the mediums, whilst most of the other drives around him are on the softs. And that is the one issue that he may find. You can see the gap between him and Gur already being reduced. That's only down to 1.3 tenths. Dreamer closing in on a loon again. These two have just been swapping positions constantly throughout the race. However, this could be the difference here as NGM comes into the pits, realising he probably won't be making it to the end on those softs. Maybe he's just going to have to, on those mediums, or he will make it to the end on the mediums, but he'll lose so much time. Jack may be able to overtake him here. Probably not, in fact. Yeah, he won't be able to make the move, Jack. Or he will be able to make the move probably soon afterwards, but NJM stays ahead of him. Not much separating then. NJM is on the fastest Humber, but he's really going to have to hope for a safety car now. Safety car would do wonders for him now. But we're still yet to see any drivers go into a wall, as Dreamer nearly does there. The second I say it, the second it happens. He nearly, well, he doesn't, but he's going to have to come into the pits now, onto the soft tyres, and that's going to allow Fozzie to go up another position. SLX Toastman not far behind him. And GM getting the move on OPJ Radders as OPJ Radders comes into the pits now. He must have front wing damage, and that's going to allow Jack to go up 2 positions and put himself in P8. As OPJ Radders, I believe, does retire. Dreamer did have front wing damage. Not quite sure why OPJ Radders retired, but he has done. Xian may be able to get past Dreamer here. It's going to be very close, whoever has a better corner. Dreamer just out ahead, but that's got Xian a 3-second time penalty. Ooh, as Fozzie's right behind SLX Toastman. He's not going to be able to make anything happen, I assume so, because just of the tyre difference. NJM, however, 10 seconds behind Fozzie, so Fozzie could be going here for a P6. Maybe even higher. As we will take a quick look at penalties now. So, Fozzie with 9 seconds, NGM also with 9 seconds, but Jack only with 3 seconds. And that would mean that he would get moved up 1 position to ahead of what's he called? NJM. DJ with 3 seconds, ST Plays with 6. So he would, I believe, lose his position to Gur. And Gur would not go to first. DJ would stay first. Gap ever increasing, but a loon with 11 seconds now, and that would mean that Fozzie would move up a position. Penalties really beginning to make a difference here at a track like this, as Gur gets 3 seconds now. If SLX Toastman can avoid getting any penalties, that could be a game changer for him. But I've just realised both Ferraris are out. And they've gone from a pretty good qualifying to no longer existing. As I do not know what Neon Cat is doing there. I believe it was just a game glitch. The game's still saying he's in the pits, so but we're still continuing. I'm just trying to see if we are gonna. So yeah, we are going to continue racing, but Fozzie Fozzie will be looking to close in on SLX Toastman now, as SLX almost has a bit of a moment there, and that could allow for Fozzie to close back in as Jack does come into the pits. He should be safe from on Herb and should be able to or keep even his T10. Yes, he can. But oh, it's gonna be close. On Herb right behind him is Jack, letting the cars past and doing what he is supposed to do. And Jack, the lapped car, nearly lapping NJM as NJM does retire, I believe, in the pit lane. Not the first retiree we have seen this session. And that will allow Jack to move up another position. He'll now be in P10, back into the points. But Fozzie... oh, as there is a Aston Martin in the wall there. As Fozzie getting another 3 seconds. Neon Cat really struggling today, not been his best afternoon. But Fozzie, look, he's getting his teammate Jack. As Neon Cat coming into the pits already. Oh, he's only made 1 stop. Which is quite surprising. Considering how much he has spun. Don't quite know what the game's doing with his thingy there, but Fozzie will be keeping his P6. Dreamer had a great start to the race but unable to catch up, but DJ, he's dominated this race so far, still in P1 after a great qualifying, and he's just taking it slow now. He has no need to worry. But as SD plays, gets Brown a loon as a loon puts in the wall. Don't quite know what's happened to what he's tried to do there, but that's allowed Fozzie and SLX Toastman to get past him. But a loon is losing out on so much time here, and Fozzie's up another place. And Aloon DNFs, he retires from the session. So, Jack, on Herb, Sheehan and Dreamer will all be going up another position. And Neon Cat as well. He'll be into the points. Despite being 3 minutes behind everyone else, he is still yet to overtake NJM. I believe he'll be doing it this lap. There you go. That means he has still got to do another 2 laps. And then, and only then, will he be able to claim those points back. Just shows you the differences. Fozzy right behind SLX Toastman. It's been a great afternoon. Qualifying not so good, but a great recovery drive. One of the best I've ever seen from him, as that is on Earth. Spinning there and jacks up another spot. Into P8 now. He's not going to be able to make anything up after this, as he's at a perfect sector 2 there. That yellow light has been on all afternoon. So it must be a game glitch, I assume. But Gia not using any of his ERSs. Jack sets the fastest lap of this race. So he did come into the pits. But Neil Cat, surely he's going to overtake. The game's saying he's in the pits again. How has he got a 5-second time penalty there? He is 4 laps behind everyone else, but not quite sure how that has happened. Ozzy now, I believe, has just kind of realised that there's no point of him making a move on Toast, because he's just going to lose it to penalties. And he'll be very hard pushed to get every single penalty removed. So I think he'll just have to settle for P5, which I think is a very good result considering how poor his qualifying was. He gets another 3 seconds. He must surely be on the brink of 15 seconds of time penalties. He has been unstoppable on that front. And let's just look at this. Wow. But he is fighting with Toast. He doesn't want to let Toast have this too easily. But I think Toast will just be able to secure it, obviously with penalties as well, providing Fozzy or Toast doesn't put it in the wall, or Fozzy put Toast in the wall. As we are onto the final lap of the race now, and he hasn't been talked about much, but he has dominated this race from top to bottom. It's almost never really ever looked in doubt as he comes around turn 3 for the final time. I mean, it wouldn't be Austria, wouldn't there, if there weren't any lobby glitches, but it looks like they've cleared up for the most part. Oh no, that is... Fozzy has actually put it in the wall there. That is... He may lose out on a position to Dreamer now. Potentially. I highly doubt it, but maybe. You never know. Oh no, he won't. Dreamer's still going around turn 3. But anyway, back to the star of the show, DJ, as he wins in Spielberg. What a dominant performance it has been from him. Taking P2, and then SD Plays taking P3 as well, maybe snatched away by a Select Toastman. It is not. And then Fuzzy coming around turn 10 for the final time this race, taking P5. What a great result from him after a very shaky qualifying. Dreamer taking P6 as well. Not the result he would have hoped for, as his red light is flashing. He's managed fuel perfectly this lap from the looks of things. As he does stop on the line. And will he keep P7? I do not know. Or P6 even. But DJ, what a great performance. What a result for AlphaTauri as well. The Rebel Academy having a great day of standing as Fuzzy take drive of the day. What a I cannot emphasize how great of a redemption drive that has been. But DJ doing a bit of shadow boxing there. Not sure how many times we've seen a driver do that, but what a result. What a result for DJ, AlphaTauri, and the Red Bull Academy. So it is DJ taking the win here, up from P2 on the grid. Gert taking second, and SD Plays rounding up the podium finish. A great redemption drive, and it'll do him very well. He deserved a better result yesterday after FSC. That's like so fun taking fourth, and Fozzie after a great drive taking fifth. Dreamer in sixth, followed by the fellow Red Bull Academy driver Sheehan in seventh. Jack as well could have done so much more, but an unfortunate spin on lap 12, I believe, or around then, ruined any chances of a good result. But on taking P9, and that rounds up all the drivers who have finished in this race. So that has been all from me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I certainly have. Been some great battles, a few lobby glitches, but it's not Austria without those. That is all from me today. So thank you everyone.